Welcome into All Things LA Real Estate. My name is PK Knoll. I am running point on this channel. We are kicking off 2024 with your January real estate update. Heading out to Pasadena. Obviously, 2023 was a very slow year in the real estate industry. Rates were extremely high in comparison to what we've dealt with over the past decade. Inventory was extremely low, making affordability very tough. We are not starting off here in January with a whole lot of momentum, but there is some hope as we progress into 2024. We're going to get into all the numbers. We're going to break down what's currently going on in the neighborhood. We're going to take a look at some past month over month, year over year statistics. I will tell you, for those of you who follow along with this month after month, we are scratching homes that have caught my eye just for this month because we have so little inventory. We just don't have a lot of new information in that regard. So you can go back to December, November, October if you want to see some homes because there's a lot of repetition there. But we'll be right back at that portion of these videos come February. Let's go. As we jump into the current statistics out in Pasadena, let's start with just like a little bit of a prognostic on what is going on in the real estate market, right? So we know we have inventory issues. That is actually at an all-time low, even in comparison to what we saw last year. Now, some of that is just the, typical real estate cyclical cycle of wintertime being slower, and some of that is just a proponent of what's gone on in our industry. There is some positive mentality towards what we are going to be able to accomplish in 2024. We have seen rates drop below 7 for the first time in a very long time. The sentiment around the real estate finance industry is that we are going to see rate cuts throughout the year. Now, some of the stock market is telling us that we could see 6 rate cuts throughout this year. I'm not really a firm believer in that. There's a lot of skepticism that we would have 6. That would be a high progression. That would obviously be avoiding any type of recession, and no one knows with any type of certainty. But Jerome Powell has made it pretty clear that we can kind of anticipate that we'll have at least 3 cuts throughout the year. I don't know if that first one's going to happen right off the bat. A lot of the smartest kind of economists assume midsummer is where we start to see the major cuts from the Fed, but we're keeping our eye on it. We anticipate things to get better. We'll slowly over the next 6, 12, 18 months, hopefully get back to kind of a normal, consistent real estate market. There's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of things we got to discuss. So subscribe to the channel because I got a lot of interesting information coming out. But let's jump into Pasadena and see exactly what's going on in the market. December was extremely slow. We have 78 homes available for sale currently in Pasadena. And if you followed along through all of 2023, we dealt with major inventory issues in Pasadena. In every single month in Pasadena last year, we had over 100 houses available for sale. We're at 78 now. If you looked on the 1st of January, we're at 60. So we've had 18 homes come on the market here in just the first week of January. So we're starting to see some progression. 14 of the 78 homes have seen price drops. That has been a consistent message that we have seen, as there are just not a lot of buyers who have rushed the market, but they're probably coming once those rates start flirting with 6, 5.5%. And then we got a whole new ball game to kind of deal with. The minimum price to get in the neighborhood right now, $689,900. The maximum price, a house that we are very familiar with, that beautiful spot off Oak Knoll, $36.5 million home. That place is absolutely amazing. Go back to the November real estate update if you want to take a peek of it. Go to the end of the video, look for top listing, and you can take a peek at this house. The house is one of the nicest houses on the market, probably in the country, certainly in Los Angeles. Our average right now, as far as the homes available for sale, is $3.255,998. That is up about $600,000 to $800,000 more than we typically see out in Pasadena. Normally that number is between 2.4, 2.6. The reason being behind that is when you have such high rates, you're just not going to have anybody who can afford to finance those high ticket prices. Essentially what that does is obviously drives up the average of the homes that are available for sale, because the lower end ticket prices, the people who really want to move into Pasadena, are only able to afford down here. Up here is very limited from a buyer perspective. Now the median right now is 1.947,500. So the difference between average and median, Average is exactly what you said. We're taking all 78 houses. What's the average price? The median just goes and finds exactly what that middle ground is. So, you kind of tier off both those numbers to get a stronger perspective as far as what's going on in the neighborhood. We're going to track both of those numbers extensively throughout the year and see kind of where we're looking from an appreciation standpoint in the neighborhood. The anticipation is with inventory and, when inventory improves, we're going to see a lot of buyers come back into the market, and we're expecting home prices to rise because of that. So we're expecting appreciation throughout this year. We'll see if we get to the normalcy of 4, 5, 6, 7% that we see in a normal, healthy real estate market, but we're keeping our eye on it. We are at days on market at 70. That is plus 20 days in comparison to what we've seen in the past. Now, 60 days, we talk about this a lot, is really kind of that golden number of where home sellers start to lose patience and we start to see more price drops because no one wants to put their home up for sale and sit for 2 months without getting the offers that they want. So we're keeping our eye on that number. As more homes come onto the market, obviously that drives that number down. So that's really what we're hoping for, what we're looking for over February and March, and hopefully we can get back to a nice market come summertime. If we take a quick peek into January of 2023, so where we're at as far as sales go, this time in Pasadena last year, we had 54 homes sell. Now, we only have 75 available for sale, so we are certainly going to see some year-over-year declines, and that's because of the drop, in inventory, just the reality of the situation. But we'll keep our eye on it. I'll give you a specific update to that number in next month's update for Pasadena. But let's go take a quick peek and see what happened in December in Pasadena so we can get some more information in regards to the market for those of you who are looking. As we look into December in Pasadena, first of all, obvious point, December is the slowest month every single year, right? Just people are not looking to make, real estate transactions over the holidays in most instances. It just kind of plays out that way. Everyone has a ton of other things going on in their personal life, so it just kind of happens. But we did have 64 sales in Pasadena last month at 102% clip, meaning 2% on average above that list price. So that's an insightful number for both sides of the parties, right? It's insightful if you're a home owner in Pasadena because it's one of the metrics you can use to see if you're getting that appreciation, right? Because typically people are going to list their home right around where the market tells them to if they have a, viable real estate agent to advise them on that. So seeing things go over the list price, gives you some insight towards if your house is appreciating. For a home buyer, that gives you a golden insight to where you need to place your offers if you see a house. And if you followed along with Pasadena over the past 6, 8, 10 months with us, we see that 2% over that list price is coming in more often than not. So what that tells me is that if the home is worth, listed for, let's say, $1 million, obviously we got to come in, if I want to get this house, and assume that I'm going to have to pay 2% over that list price, so $20,000. So that's kind of where I'm going to come in if I think the house is going to have offers. As my minimum perspective to be able to get my offer accepted is $1,020,000 on that home, and you can kind of spread that across the scale for all of the homes. The minimum sale last month was $485,000. You are not getting into anywhere on the east side for less than $500K. Certainly not getting to Pasadena for less than $500K. This was obviously a full rebuild. So somebody who had to come in, an investor, somebody who had extra time to put in the money, hundreds of thousands of dollars to do a rebuild on this home. But basically what you can kind of semblance off of this is that the land that you're buying is around $500K. The building pays for the rest. The top end, we had a 5.950 home sale. That's good. We're not seeing a ton of deals over the $5 million mark. That home sold right at the list price. So we're not seeing those kind of appreciation numbers above on the top end. We've addressed this already in the video. It's just a reality of, a lack of buyers being able to afford on that side of the perspective. The average home sale in Pasadena did stay consistent in December is 1.717,415. That number has been consistently, if you've been following along month over month, in the 1.7 range. The median sale was 1.461,250. Like I said, the lower end ticket prices, Pasadena is one of the best spots in all of Los Angeles to live. Everybody wants to live there. Good schools, low on crime, great commercial areas. Downtown Pasadena is one of the nicest places, one of the most walkable places that you can live. So we see, people getting in and snatching up those lower ends when they can't afford it. Average days on market for the homes that sold was 36. Typically, we see that number between 15 and 35. 36 is a little bit higher, but nothing that kind of raises any type of red flag for us on that side of things. If we peek into December of 2022, we had 58 homes sell at 101% clip. So we actually had an increase year over year if we looked at December of 2023 compared to December of 2022. But as I mentioned off the jump, December is always low when it comes to home sales, just from outside perspective and things that have gone. So like I mentioned, we are not getting into homes that have caught my eye. If you are interested to know where the value is, kind of get some more information on the homes, always reach out to me. Always happy to help. Thank you so much for watching the video. We do this every single month for almost every neighborhood on the east side. We're doing Pasadena, Silver Lake, Eagle Rock, Highland Park, Glendale, La Cañada, El Sereno, Cypress Park. The list goes on and on. So like and subscribe to the channel if you are so inclined. If you're somebody who's looking to purchase a home on the east side of Los Angeles or sell your home, I am happy to help out with you. Reach out to me. You can send me a direct message online, or all of my phone numbers are listed. Even if you're somebody who's hesitant with 7% interest rates, that puts us in the same boat. It always helps to start preparing for future opportunities because you don't want to miss the boat there. We will tread lightly. We will look for value. We will get it done. I also do a ton of other videos. I get into the schools. I get into, the restaurants in the neighborhood. I get into the attractions in the neighborhood. I do some other fun videos like quick cribs. So once again, like and subscribe if you are so inclined. Have a great day. Be kind.
Yeah.